I was 7. Your eyes, like pools of agate, had drenched the fields of dirt that were the aggregate of mine when you asked, "What's your name?" The drought of hesitance had paled the brown that had tinted my pupils, tongue twisted like the plaits in my hair, intoxicated by the elixir of Eurocentrism. I ring out 2 syllables. Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah. You returned to coloring. I returned to cremating the being of a girl whose name was also 2 syllables. To address her was to endure a shift in the tectonics of one's speech pattern, muscles clinging on to the memory of syllables whose embrace of your mouth marked the birth of a treasure that was now buried in an urn. Gold that could have decorated your life was now scorched by the shame of being known into gray ashes. At this age, I became employed as a magician, mastering the disappearing act of my cultural identity, a trick learned from the erasure of our torture in your history books, whose spines are far too weak to carry the weight of our generational trauma. I was 10. Staring at the black dot that had invaded my forehead, a third eye that had wakened from the coma of innocence to a world in which black dots and bangles meant sitting alone at lunch tables. Toss in my brown skin and I became a walking holy trinity of belittlement. At this age, my tears turned into gasoline, and the fear from the torments of my melanin ignited a wildfire, burning the love I had for my heritage. I am 16. Teenage angst and tales that can never be told without the tireless reassurance that I will tame the roars of my ascendants for retribution, pacify them with the hope of their arrival for a time when fists box the air in the name of rejoicing instead of rebellion, and refrain from including you as a textbook example of discrimination during my teachings of racial segregation. Take me to a pen instead. The same spines that you have whipped into submission have become the backbone of an economy whose gross domestic production lies in the paling of our skin and the painful pleas of my ancestors. Our bruised and shaking hands hand you our culture on a thali decorated with the colors of holy and the cries of young girls who were short of fair and as a punishment never called lovely. We are only palatable when contained in parcels of flat bread and gravy, brown fingers that you trust in the kneading of dough but not the flipping of scripts to recite the lines of a protagonist. The saviors of your Friday night take-out dilemma, and we are thanked with screen time where we are caricatures of your microaggressions that you can exploit when giving your 2 cents about our accents and sense. The ink has dried alongside my tears. It only took 16 years to understand that the taste of freedom is savory.